In the previous episode of my Stalker Misery playthrough, we completed all available quests in Zaton and moved on to the next location, which is the area around Jupiter. So in this episode we are going to finish all remaining quests there, move on to Pripyat and with that complete the entire mod. And honestly guys, it was a rough experience. If you haven't seen the previous part yet, I highly recommend watching it before this one. And now let's jump into the final episode of my first Misery playthrough. After arriving at the Yanov station, I put everything I didn't need into my stash, and to be honest, after taking a break for more than 3 months, I felt completely overwhelmed. I didn't even remember where I got my Basilisk detector from. I accepted all known quests at the Yanov station and immediately noticed the redesigned interior. I like it. I don't know why the mod creator decided to do this, but the local medic now sells high-end weapons and armor. Even World War II guns, while Hawaiian shop looks more like a flea market. The first quest I decided to do was for Uncle Yar. So after arriving at the, let's say, resort for people with special needs, we were randomly attacked by pseudodogs. Man, I love A-Life in this mod. Also, why do the mercs look like they were hired yesterday? However, after taking out the mercenaries and the zombies, I got my reward from Yar. Instead of returning to the Yanov station, I decided to check out the scientists, but there wasn't anything interesting yet, so I went back to help those poor guys open the door. I considered buying the SSP-99 suit, but I already imagined the high maintenance costs, so of course I bought it. The next mission was the hostage rescue, and this time I decided not to go solo, what I usually always do, but together with the Stalkers to rescue him. But before meeting them, you didn't see anything, alright? First I gave the Freedom guys Morgan's PDA and got access to the duty stash. Honestly, I didn't want to intervene in this faction bitch fight, so I waited until one side kicks the bucket, looted them and sold their belongings. While wandering through the zone, I discovered a new feature of this mod, FPS drops and stuttering. I later fixed it, kinda, but the performance on Jupiter was still miserable compared to Zaton. So I checked the Stingray evac point, killed the brain-dead zombies and took the note from Sokolov. Next I helped Vano with his bandit loan situation. Honestly, what kind of idiot borrows money from bandits? The bandits at the base were supposed to be neutral, but a random alive bandit squad attacked me, so I assumed everyone was hostile and started shooting anything that moves. I guess Vano's problem is now solved. Since the rescue squad spawns at 1 AM, I tried to be productive in that time. First I met my boy Strider and promised to help him. After that I went to the Stingray helicopter in the minefield. And by the way, if you don't know the easiest way to pass the mines, watch and learn, kids. Just walk from sign to sign and throw a bolt in front of you and you're good. Unless you are as stupid as me. After inspecting the helicopter and getting the black box, I watched a firework like it was a summer festival episode of a slice of life anime. Since I still had time, I decided to go for the Oasis artifact. After doing that weird ass ritual, I entered the Oasis room and stopped an annoying rat from attacking me. On my way back I noticed that the fog not only looked cool, but also boosted my FPS by 100 frames. Maybe it's not just fog, maybe it's a friendly anomaly. However, I brought the Oasis to the scientists and went back to wait for the Stalkers to spawn. While waiting for those guys to appear, Strider died. And I literally saved the game 5 seconds before that happened. And this means I was not able to save him. I really feel bad about it because he's literally one of my favorite characters in Stalker.
I'm sorry, Strider.
Eventually, the Stalker showed up and instantly opened fire like American police officers. So me and the boys cleared the area and rescued the hostage. Back at Yanov, I got absolutely nothing as a reward, even though the guy said, "Here, take this." At that moment I really wanted to take revenge for the bandits I just massacred a couple minutes ago. After that I went to Flint to tell him that he should stop yapping, and my game crashed. Perfect moment to take a break. The next day I decided to get the tools tools for Nitro from the cement factory. Honestly guys, did you ever think that in Stalker 2 this place would become the main base of one of the strongest factions in the zone? Or that there are massive cooling towers on the other side of the river? After collecting everything Nitro needed, I decided to check out S.T.A.L.K.E.R stash under the factory. Surprisingly, I didn't even have to trigger the quest for the loot to spawn, and now I had a pretty solid supply of mats. Next I wanted to kill the bloodsuckers in the swamp, and honestly I thought this is going to be a rough fight. But thanks to the Saiga, the suckers are no longer sucking anything. So I went back to Nitro, gave him the tools, returned to Captain Price, got my reward and accepted the next quest, which meant I had to fight at least 2 burrows, probably with new abilities like in the case of the poltergeist. I walked back to the scientist bunker and gave Sokolov his note. After that I decided to help the scientists. Together with Topol Squad I got the Psy artifact and saved the boys from a controller's brain rot. And honestly I was kinda surprised how fast the controller died. Back at the bunker I accepted the next quest from Hermann, where I had to place scanners at 3 anomaly fields. At the first anomaly field I died a lot. After 5 attempts I finally managed to place the scanner and even grabbed a sparkler artifact. At the next anomaly field I placed the scanners without any issue and found 2 more artifacts. And since I didn't want to glow like a Christmas tree due to radiation, I headed back to Yanov. To make sure I would get Strelok's gun later, I went to the crashed UAV to trigger the quest and brought the memory module to Nitro. While Nitro was decrypting it, I went to the quarry to check the stash for Ghost's note, and there I was surprised by exploding Psydogs. After failing to climb a tree about 10 times like an absolute idiot, I saved my game at the worst possible moment and got ambushed by the same dogs. After killing them, I finally climbed onto the excavator and looted Ghost's stash. After breaking my leg, Nitro told me the module was finally decrypted, so I went back to get it. I also noticed that Hawaiian was selling a kit that repairs shotgun with 25% durability or more, and of course my Saiga was at 24%. Yeah, f me. Now I was ready to face the 2 burrows for Trapper, and honestly, I was scared. After arriving at the train depot, I was blessed with 50 more FPS. And here we go. I saw the first burrow and immediately opened fire. He threw a barrel at me and after 3 to 5 shots, he died. Like, what? I was completely confused because I have expected a Dark Souls level boss fight, but the first burrow just instantly kicked the bucket. I ran into the second one and filled his mouth with shotgun pellets and he died, just as fast as the first one. Honestly, I was pretty disappointed. Also, this made me question the hardcore aspect of the mod. Don't get me wrong, it's still harder than vanilla Call of Pripyat, but hardcore, I don't know. Don't worry, I will give you my honest final opinion at the end of the video, so let's move on. My next destination was the Jupiter plant. First I placed the scanner at the chemical anomaly and grabbed another artifact. After entering the plant I got ambushed by zombies. At that moment I didn't realize I was in the middle of the next season of The Walking Dead. After dealing with the undead, or brain dead, I searched for the documents I needed. Once I picked up the last document, mercenaries tried to kick my ass. Thankfully they had worse gear than in the original game. Also because my suit was damaged, the helmet overlay didn't look broken, it looked greasy and disgusting and I had nothing to fix it. I honestly don't know who thought this overlay was a good idea, but it made me feel really uncomfortable. So for the sake of my mental health, I temporarily turned off the overlays. And oh god, the game looked so much better now. I also discovered that Isloms exist in this mod, which is pretty cool. But apart from Isloms and zombies, there was a controller eating a fucking Islom. Bro was so horny he completely forgot about me. I noticed another controller somewhere in the bushes, so I carefully sneaked to S.T.A.L.K.E.R stash, got the gun and tested it on some Isloms, and while trying to locate the second controller, he killed me many times. What the hell is this animation? After doing what I learned from Obi-Wan, I took the high ground and killed the controller from there. Inside the plant I also killed this annoying ass poltergeist. I found documents about an underground tunnel to Pripyat, inspected the last Stingray helicopter and found proof that this tunnel exists. Which means we are almost ready for Pripyat. Back at Janov, I told Nitro about my plans and then Zulu as well, and now I had to get a squad together. Since Strider was dead, I could only recruit Vanon or Sokolov. I went to Vanon first, and this broke-ass motherfucker wanted over 30,000 rubles from me for a new suit. Yes, Vanon, of course I will give you half of my net worth. I went back to the bunker to get my reward from Hermann and promised him to get new guards since the last ones died while trying to kick my ass. Twice. I also accepted to help Topol and his research team. Next I needed to help Sokolov get a new suit. So Ozerski wanted a unique artifact as compensation for the suit. But first, let's help Topol and his boys. So 1 and 2. As a reward I got money and another Velis detector, so we just needed one more for Ol's quest. I accepted the second scanner quest, and after taking a nap, an emission appeared for the first time in this mod. It didn't look that special compared to mods like Anomaly, but it was still cool. Then I told Loki that the eggheads needed new guards, and after the emission was over, I took the flower artifact for Zersky. Why the fuck does this flower weighed almost 4 kilograms. After recruiting Sokolov, I received my reward for the guards and bought a new SSP 99M suit along with another Velis detector, so I could finally deliver everything to Novikov. After placing all remaining scanners at the anomaly fields, I was ready for perhaps the most intense fight of my life, against the Chimera. But like in every school presentation, somebody else did all the work for me and I still got the reward. So I got Epstein's pump gun from Captain Price. What a weird crossover. And this thing was going to be my best friend until the end of the game. With all quests in Jupiter done, I was finally ready for Pripyat. Or at least I thought so. Every bad imaginable thing happened down there. First of all, my power bank died in the beginning, which made this whole section feel like getting water at 3 AM without accidentally waking up your parents. On top of that, the footage was laggy as fuck for some reason, which made it almost unwatchable. All in all, I tried my best to keep everyone alive, but Vanon and Zulu died. I wasn't able to do anything in this pure darkness, and honestly, I was just too lazy to replay this whole section, so I just let him die. I'm really sorry for everyone who wanted to see me get the best ending possible, but trust me, it gets even worse later. I arrived in Pripyat with Sokolov, and the lag didn't stop. This was just a Pripyat issue, so I have to summarize what happened during these 40 minutes as best as possible for you guys. And since most of you already know what's going to happen, because it's basically the same as in the original Call of Pripyat, here's the short version. We ambushed the Monolith fighters and got ambushed back. I got the Gauss rifle from their leader, and after that I checked a military patrol that had been killed by Monolith fighters. Then I wiped out a Monolith squad at the bookstore and discovered that they were trying to communicate with a stone using self-made antennas. Then I went back to Zaton to find out how to repair the Gauss rifle, and from that point on the footage was stable again, at least until I returned to Pripyat. First of all, I snitched on Flint and told the Stalkers that he is Magpie. Then I triggered the PTSD of this poor alcoholic by showing him the Gauss rifle. I felt sorry for him, so I found his last dead friend. What is a duty guy doing here? Anyway, after he woke up, he told me about a secret laboratory where those rifles were made and gave me a keycard. Then I told him that his last friend is dead, and I think he has every right to hate me now after I absolutely destroyed his mental health in such a short amount of time. Then I finished the deal for Ol and got the best artifact detector in-game and refused to help Sultan. Then I took Beard's quest for the compass artifact, which meant I had to visit my boy Noah right after the lab. What the hell is this guy doing here? At the lab I killed the zombies and the pseudo-giant, which was honestly pretty easy, and got the documents I needed. On my way back I visited Noah, got the compass artifact, brought it back to Beard, and with that unlocked the good but non-canon Skadovsk ending. I'm a medic. Who would ever question that? Now it was time for Gonta to get revenge and kill the Chimera. But before we continue, do you remember that random passing by Stalker? And now prepare for the most insane enemy plot ever. This guy used his aura to kill the Chimera without being noticed. This is the best thing I have ever seen in Stalker, and I wish this A-Life was this good in Stalker 2. Of course I had to replay this section because Gonta said I didn't do shit, so the mission failed. But I will never forget you. Timecodes or something like that. You are the hero of this mod. After that I went back to Jupiter one last time to get Achenko's PDA and then to sell it to the Freedom faction. Back in Pripyat I had two main tasks. First, to witness this guy suffering and kill the controller. And second, to get into this building full of zombies and monolith fighters. Some of them literally looked like homeless people and not monolith fighters. So I got into the lab and the footage here was laggy again. Long story short, I was killed around 30 times by a fucking poltergeist while trying to get the document I needed for the main quest. And then I left the lab. That's basically all that happened. I suffered a lot, by the way. The next quest the Colonel gave me, I think I didn't mention him a single time in this playthrough. Anyway, the Pripyat main quest guy sent me to investigate what happened to another military patrol. After that I had to break into a kindergarten to rescue a military medic who was hiding inside a fridge. Then the Colonel sent me to find the source of a signal they were receiving. While following this signal I got ambushed by two chimeras, and this actually felt like a real boss fight. Then we found out that this signal came from S.T.A.L.K.E.R himself, and now we are heading towards the ending. After contacting the headquarters, an evacuation was arranged, and now we had to escape from Tarkov. Pripyat. And this was perhaps the most annoying part of the game. Not only did I have to stay alive, but I also had to protect the whole squad, which was basically optional but impossible in this mod. I died around 20 times at the evac point and had to wait for the evac to begin because of a fucking timer. Of course, everyone died. I wasn't able to save anyone from the squad and extracted alone. So I will just talk over the ending screen since the dub is in Russian and not everyone understands it. So as I promised, here is my honest opinion. This mod is great if you want to experience Stalker Call of Pripyat in a different way. Especially the atmosphere is a straight 10 out of 10. I love it. Content wise, it adds a lot of new weapons and repair mechanics, which I really enjoyed. But of course there are also downsides. And the biggest one is optimization. I was running this mod on a RTX 3070 and Intel i7 10700K CPU and 32 gigs of RAM. And the performance, especially on Jupiter, was terrible. We won't even talk about Pripyat since OBS made the footage look laggy, even though I did experience stutters there as well. This mod is over 10 years old and in my opinion it should not run like this on hardware from 2021, even on max settings. As for the hardcore aspect, yes, it is harder than vanilla Call of Pripyat in some ways, but not hardcore enough in my opinion. The best examples are pseudo giants and burrows. They're just as easy to kill as in the original game. There were basically no changes like in the case of the poltergeist, which is kind of disappointing. Overall, I think this mod is okay. It's not the best mod I have played, but I really enjoyed the atmosphere. So, do I recommend this mod? Yes, I do. If you want to give Call of Pripyat a fresh look, go for it. For its age, I would still give a solid 7 out of 10. So and that's it for this playthrough. More content like this is planned, but recording videos like these takes a lot of time and also storage. So the next mod playthrough will take a while. I also want to say thank you for your amazing feedback on the first Misery video. It really made me happy to see the video grow so fast and to see so much positivity positivity in the comments. If you want to see another Stalker mod video on this channel, feel free to recommend me a mod in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, it really helps the channel to grow and motivates me to keep going, and I will see you in the next video.